Why would somebody be interested in learning quantum light work instead of Reiki or after Reiki? Hi, I'm Erin Worley. I am the mentor to the most powerful light workers and healers on earth, and I'm the founder of Quantum Lightwork. Most people start their energy healing journey with Reiki because it is definitely the biggest and most popular method. It is the entry level. But unfortunately, Reiki is an old earth method, an old earth energy technology. And right now, we are not actually firmly ensconced in the old earth. We are in this transition, this bridge period between old earth and new earth. And so if we put all of our focus and attention as an individual into Reiki, we're actually anchoring into the old earth energies. Now, don't get me wrong, Reiki was super, super expansive for humanity up until a certain point on our journey. Because in the old earth, Reiki was expansive. Reiki was next level to give individual humans access to this knowledge and this level of working with energy. Humans that were walking around believing that they had no energy at all. Reiki was an understanding that we aren't just physical beings, we're not just meat and flesh and blood and bone. We have energy running through us and all around us. Everything is connected on earth by energy. This was revolutionary. And giving humans access to this kind of technology, previously, this sort of energetic technology, you had to pray to or ask higher dimensional beings to do this sort of work for you. And Reiki allowed humans to do this work on themselves. So it was so expansive and so revolutionary when it was brought forward, when it was channeled about 100 years ago. But as more and more people became practitioners of Reiki, the frequency of the planet Earth began to rise. The frequency of the human collective began to rise. And the ascension process really got into full swing. And Reiki did not evolve and expand to match the rate of the earth and the human collective's expansion. Reiki instead chose to stay stuck and stay limited instead of becoming expansive. So in Reiki, you are taught to do certain things in a certain way, use certain symbols, do certain movements, have certain intentions. And if you feel to do something different, you're taught not to do that something different because it won't work right then. You're taught that how it was brought forward, channeled 100 years ago, is the correct way, and any deviation from that is incorrect and will result in an incorrect result. This is not trusting that we are each powerful psychics and channelers, and we all are. As humans, we are incredibly powerful psychics and channelers, even if that feels completely untrue to you. I myself had no idea that anything psychic existed for the first 28 years of my life. I didn't believe in God. I didn't believe in anything. I was sure there was nothing but dust when you die. And I, at 28, started going through a process where I turned my psychic gifts on. I was not born with them, and so I know that we all are here to embrace our natural psychic gifts. Just most of us have turned them off, either before we were born or when we were young children, to protect ourselves. So if I'm psychic and you're psychic, which I know with absolute certainty to be true, and by the way, psychic doesn't need to look this way or that way, like you see any popular psychic or channeler looking. We all have our own unique way of bringing forward psychic information. So when we compare ourselves to others, we can get confused about how powerful we are individually. But the truth is, you're incredibly powerful psychically. So when we understand this, we understand that the person, Master Usui, that brought forward and channeled Reiki was bringing forward and channeling this method exactly right and perfectly for him. And others were actually meant to receive that and then adjust it based on their own information, on their own ideas that popped into their head. Hey, maybe I should do it this way. Maybe I should tweak this like this. But they were all taught by the Reiki community, don't you dare. Danger, danger, warning, warning, no. And so everybody started repressing their psychic information. You see, when we are playing in the realm of energy, we are being guided to expand into next levels of trust in our natural psychic abilities. And every time we say, ooh, that's not the right way, that's not how I was taught, we repress, bury down, stop from opening those psychic abilities. And that's what Reiki is still doing. And there are some people within the Reiki community that are expanding, that are trusting themselves more and more. But they're not necessarily sharing that same trust for their students. They might trust themselves to psychically make changes, but do they trust the process deeply enough to encourage their students to make the changes? And therein is why this is an old earth technology. It does not transfer the frequency of trust and embodiment in your own psychic power from master to student, thus creating mastery within the students. It instead transfers, do it this way, be perfect. And that is why I was guided in 2020 to channel forward a new earth, powerful, the most powerful healing modality that is currently present on planet Earth, a new earth healing modality called quantum light work, which gives you the steps to get started. Now, I've had so many people go through this program, and whether they're brand new to energy or whether they've been a Reiki master for 30, 40 years, their results have been phenomenal in their own healing abilities, in their psychic gifts opening wide, and most importantly, in them trusting their ability to channel through psychic information at a very, very high level, and to share that they bring forward with others in a way that helps everyone expand. And so when I teach quantum light work inside of Quantum Lightwork Academy, which is an amazing, expansive, year-long program that I highly recommend you checking out more information about in the description box, when I bring forward the teachings over 52 weeks, each lesson has information that gets you started, that shows you exactly what to practice for this week. It's like 10, 15 minutes of practice a day each week. And this is designed to get you started so you're not just guessing what to do. It's very, very specific practice. But it's also encoded with the more that you practice it, the more your own guidance and information will flow through you, and trust that and tweak it and make it your own. And as you do so, you become a fully embodied psychic master. And that is why quantum light work is the new earth healing modality. It is fully embodied in trust that the student is here to become the master, but not the master of being the perfect copycat of the teacher, but instead of being fully embodied in their own soul's codes, power, and gifts.